A few things to be aware of when you're shooting in real world situations. So these are sort of challenges you might run into where we've got some, maybe not solutions, but workarounds and ideas for how to deal with them. So first of all, sunlight.
Sunlight, you're going to get lens flares. Try and not direct your camera directly to them. It's the same as any other camera.
You do have the ability with OZO Live to do per camera color correction. So
and gamma.
And gamma. So in one of the recent shows we did, it was or one of our customers did. It was a daytime music festival. So the audience was actually in full sun, but the stage was in full shadow. So we were able to position the camera and use the gamma in order to bring down the brightness of the audience and bring up the stage a little bit. And you can do those sorts of things a little bit.
And they match because you have control from lens to lens. You can actually match among all four.
And besides the color correction that we do have some automated blending in between the lenses that'll help to sort of blend the differences if you do want to do those sorts of corrections. Another challenge we have sometimes is LED lights at stadiums and those sorts of things.
Because obviously you're going to shoot all over the world. You're going to be in a 60 hertz country or a 50 hertz country. Try and match your shutter speed to the hertz rate of the country you're in. So again, if you're in a 50 hertz country, 1/50th, 1/100th, any more than that, and it'll start breaking. But so just keep yourselves to 1/50th, 1/100th. Same thing, anything divisible by 50. Same with 30th.
And sometimes the only option that you have really is to drop the exposure, overexpose the image a little bit in order to avoid that flicker, and then you can compensate with color correction. It's not ideal, but LED flicker is challenging to manage. You can also tame it somewhat with the temporal noise reduction within OZO Live. Weather is another thing we run into a lot of times when we're out doing live shoots with our customers.
So you can get pretty cold. The camera will be a lot colder than you are, and it's fine. Heat sometimes. Try and keep it out of direct sunlight. Try and keep it from getting too hot. Yeah.
The biggest issue that we see with the camera in heat is direct sunlight because the body absorbs sun. There are some options to reduce the heat. If you keep the battery pack out, that does reduce the watt consumption slightly for the camera. That'll give you a little more operation. You can use 4-sensor mode instead of 8-sensor mode. You should always be doing that for live anyway. That also reduces the wattage somewhat. And certainly turn off the camera when it's not in use. If those things run into trouble, if you're in very high ambient temperatures or you have to be in direct sunlight, there are some third-party cooling solutions. There's a fan that's available that is not an official Nokia solution, but it does help for those sorts of situations. So contact your reseller for access to those kinds of tools.
And that fits right in the top chimney of the camera. It's really cool. The only other thing, of course, is rain. So what do you do when it rains? What we've done in the past, the only two areas that are extremely sensitive to water are the buttons on the top and the connectors on the bottom. Make sure those are covered. What we've done in the past is used a magic arm with a piece of plexi and kind of positioned it. You have to monitor it, position it on top of the camera in the wind direction, and it's not a distraction. It looks actually pretty cool, and it does protect your camera and protect your image.
Mm-hmm. So those are just a few tips that we've got from many experiences in the field with our clients. But we'd love to hear your ideas, your tips. Please do come visit us on the OZO Live forum on the OZO website. Let us know your experiences with using the camera and any tips you have for field production.
I can't wait to see some more really cool content.
All right, thanks very much for being with us.